Okay, so we're going to get into some details on how this goes together. It took me a little bit to figure it out, but that diagram's awfully helpful. But there aren't very many videos on YouTube to show this stuff. But the first part that we're going to look at is your horn contact piece. Okay, now this has got a little bit of spring to it inside, and it's got a tab on it, and this tab is going to help you determine your orientation. The next piece we're going to talk about here is the horn adapter, and this is basically what extends from the switch, the contactor, up to where your horn button gets mounted. Okay, so here's your horn button. So really, you're pushing on this, and it's pushing down the adapter and making the contact to the bottom. So, orientation, this switch, these little rubber bumpers need to go up, and this plastic isolator piece needs to go down. The next thing you need to look at, especially if you have a horn button that's already got your Firebird on it. So here's the piece that I bought for this horn. It's a GM certified piece, and it's got the bird in it, and it's got this little nipple. So if you already have a horn button, that's going to be oriented in there one way in particular. And the way these three tabs meet up, you know, you're going to have to make sure, because this tab here aligns in your hub to this tab, slides down in there. So if you don't have those two pieces married up right, this horn button isn't going to line up the way you want. It's not that big a deal for me, because I'm going to put my own horn button on here. Let me just show you this. So this is a horn button that I got, and this is the part number for it. And it's really nice. It's just a sticker, but this is the GM certified part, and look at the difference. Big difference. This actually has that little nipple on it, but this one doesn't. But I think this one looks so much better, so I'm going to go with it. But here is the part number for the one I do not like, which I may modify this one that I don't like for my shift handle, but we'll make it work. But that's going to fit in there, I think. And there's your orientation. So now we just need to pretty much slam it together. Okay, here's the hub. Part number for that. A lot of this came from Classic Industries. Okay, so you've got 3 holes in here. Your largest hole is for your horn contact on the cancel cam, and these other 2 holes are threaded, and those I believe are for a puller, so we're not going to worry about those. But this piece here is splined to match the splines on the shaft, and I've never done this before, but I'm assuming since you need a puller, we're probably going to have a little bit of persuasion to put this on. Oh, hey, the horn works. Hey, horn works. Oh, horn works. My wife's probably going to come out here and see what the heck's going on, thinking I'm buried under the car or something. Alright, I'm going to bring you back when we get this on. I pounded this on gently with a rubber mallet, a piece of wood, and a cloth over the wood. And I think that's down as far as it's going to go. It's seated. And then I inserted my little pin in there, and it was a little bit too short. And I got to thinking about it. I've got this box of springs because I'm a hoarder and I keep a bunch of junk. I take stuff apart even before I throw things away and take the useful pieces. And I found a spring. And here's what I came up with. So I just kind of beveled the end of this screw a little bit so that the spring would fit on there. It's just a little too fat. I tried to thread it on at first, and it was just a little too fat for the hole. But this works really good. It actually worked just fine. We'll get that in there. So we've got plenty of spring and we got plenty of stubs sticking out. Here's our little horn contact switch. We're going to line up the tab, slide that down in there, and let's give it a test. Yes, we have annoyance. So the next thing we have is our nut that secures the steering wheel to the column. And this is a 7/8. So this ought to be fun trying to figure out how to get that thing on. I think we're going to try it with this deep socket first. So I believe that tech manual says 25 to 30 foot-pounds. That feels about right. Okay, so the next step is we get to actually bolt our steering wheel on. So this is a Lucara Formula steering wheel. I waited a long time for this, like 7 months I think. But it's really nice when you start adding parts to your car where you actually want to wash your hands before you do the work. So I've done that. And this steering wheel, look at that bad boy. It is nice. I mean, it's got the nice stitching all the way around. Yeah, it's quality. So it's just got some 3/16 Allen heads that go on, and it secures it to that hub. Okay, now we get to put the button in. Get these little prongs. 2 on top, 1 on the bottom. This is where you make the horn go crazy. Yeah, I might unhook that horn before we do this. Alright, let's try this again. I'm fiddling around with this, and it's actually a little bit harder than I thought to slide them tabs down over there, but we'll work it around until we get it just right, and we'll slide it on through. How is that just not the most awesome graphic ever? Gotta love the Firebird. Machismo 70s. So we're just gonna get that lined up and hope we get it straight. Yeah, that center emblem looks pretty awesome. Much better than this little puny one here that was going to go in there. But I think I can make that work. We'll put it on the shifter knob there because mine's pretty ugly. But yep, looking good.